Dude, fuck.
All right, I've started
Morlocks
the
are
line.
cool.
Everyone's cool.
Yeah.
You know what's
No, the
not cool?
Morlocks are really cool. They're top of the cool guards, but I got to give it to the Death Shroud.
You know what's not cool? Games Workshop's copyright policy. All right, let's start this podcast. Let's get going, boys.
All right.
Fucking Audacity type.
Recording. Sinking.
Suck my dick.
Sugar my dick.
Shagging my hair. All right, I'm recording. My audio is going. This is my sync. There you go. I'm sitting back in my chair holding my microphone with my hands.
You don't have your microphone set up anymore?
No, I never had it set up, but not since I moved.
Wait, Jordan,
Yeah.
could you do the intro to this podcast in like a super edgy voice to hammer in the point that this is an edgy guy? So
Yeah,
just
yeah, I
put
can
on
do
your
that.
inner like black veil brides and go nuts.
Shouldn't
can
we?
do that, I can do
Shouldn't we
that.
save all the edginess for Corvix Corax?
No,
Okay,
we
you
can
know,
use it there too.
If
Would
can
you
do the
rather have me
imitation-
use it here or
Let's just do Broad Jordan. Fuck it.
Sean, dude? Today we're talking about the Grim Reaper himself, my guy Mortarian.
Radical, dude.
Radical, dude. Now, how do you want me to do this? I'll do it. As
Just,
Kurt
I
decides.
think we could just do normal.
I would like it if you could imitate the fucking.
All right, here's what I'll do. I will record right now. So, Knock, when you make the recorded version of this podcast,
Yes.
or the edited version, I'll do right now before we start the main one. I'll do an edgy one, and then you can decide if you want to put the normal intro or the edgy intro in the edited one.
Okay, do both.
Yeah, I'll do both. Are we live on Casca's channel?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, cool. Okay. All right, well, give me a sec here, and I'll do the edgy one first, and then I'll do the normal one. Today we're discussing the Grim Reaper incarnate, the Lord of Carnage and Plagues himself, the Prince of Nurgle, the owner of the Death Shroud and the Legion Death Guard, Mortarian.
Bro, how can I not use
Alrighty.
that? What? No.
That was
Fuck,
actually
that's
pretty. That was
that's
actually
introduction.
pretty cool.
How can I not use that? What the fuck? Do you think I'm gonna use that? Welcome back to the Librarius podcast. After that, no, dude, fuck off. We're doing that.
Do you
I-
even want me to do the normal one?
No.
We're talking
There's no. Don't
Mortarian
waste my
today.
fucking life, Jordan.
We're only on this earth for so long, man.
Yeah, this earth is so fucked, dude. I can't be fucked to listen to you intro a guy twice, and one of them is a bad intro.
Yeah, fuck that. That's
Alrighty,
normal.
well, yeah. So after that intro, then Casca, would you like to take us through the life of Mortarian? Would you like to take us through the life of the butterfly?
Yes, I would.
Moth.
First of all,
Moth, my bad.
for anyone watching the Twitch stream or watching this on YouTube, if you have any sensitivity warnings to pus, disease, kind of general body grossness, maybe just listen to this one on audio, because Mortarian is the grossest Primarch. Physically the grossest Primarch out of all of them by design. He's also the guy who landed on the worst planet. So remember that frozen hellscape that Dorn landed on, and that volcanic ash place that Nocturne with the dinosaurs, and the nuclear hellscape that Sanguinius came from, and the planets with vegetation and animals that would kill you, that Ferris Manus and Lehman and that Lionel Johnson all came from. Those planets are for little tiny bitch babies who grew up to be also bitch babies.
No.
Because let me tell you about Barbaros, okay? This is a planet that has no violent vegetation and no animals on it that will kill you, because its entire planet, except for the deepest valleys of the planet, are filled with nothing but noxious killer fog that will literally rot Astartes armor off of the bodies of the Astartes. It has actually been noted that I think like in one of the lores that like Necrons go there, and even their armor like starts to dissolve in this fog of hell. I could be wrong on that. That may just be a fan fiction, but whatever. Horrible planet.
It was real to me.
It was a horrible, horrible planet. So Mortarian crash lands on this planet, and he starts to cry because his gestation pod is literally dissolving around him. He doesn't get to bust out like everybody else does. His gestation pod literally dissolves around him. And this cockbag named Nikare, who's the necromancer lord of this planet, well, one of the many necromancer lords of this planet, looks down on this battlefield where he had a bunch of undead fight and finds a little baby and was like, "Baby, what are you doing inside of a noxious gas field alive in a battlefield?" So he's like, "This baby is important. So I'm going to go take this baby."
This baby is important, baby.
And I'm going to go lock
baby.
the child away in one of my towers. And he treats Mortarian pretty nicely. He teaches him about war, trains him, gives him all this knowledge, food, cares for him, all this stuff. But while Mortarian is being trained by this guy Nikare, he keeps asking about these lights in the valley and about the people that live in the valley. And Nikare tells him, they're not important. You don't have to worry about them. But Mortarian is really, really, really interested in the people of this valley. And forgive me because I am actually coming off a little bit of a cold today, which is perfect because we're talking about the god of disease.
That actually is really well timed.
Yeah, it's accidentally really well timed. And so eventually, Mortarian gets really, really fed up with Nikare and not telling him about the people of the valley. So he busts out of Nikare's palace, kills a bunch of his prison guards that are keeping Mortarian in this tower. And he goes down into the valley, and he finds the people of Barbaros, the planet he lives on. And they are just this downtrodden, just like the most beaten down people, because all that these necromancer lords do is basically steal and cheat these people into dying so that way they can be raised up to make armies of the dead, so that way the necromancer lords can do battle with each other for territory. And he slowly gains their trust. Slow is going to be a constant factor in this guy's story. Nothing here happens quickly. If you ask Mortarian to do something in January, it will not be done until Christmas. But it will be done. And it will be done correctly.
Which, for the record, is like the whole motif of the Death Guard.
Hey, dude. Just holler at him in like 3 to 4 business days.
Yeah. 3 to 4
There
business
is no
years.
express shipping.
3 to 4 business years. Everything here is only done by Pony Express, even though there's airplanes. I just realized we have international listeners, and there may be people like Knock who have no fucking idea what the Pony Express is.
I mean, I can assume it's a horse delivery service.
I mean, that's what it is. But yeah.
I fixed the problem.
So yeah, and the reason he gets this is that the reason he finally gains their trust is that the people get attacked by one of these necromancer overlords, and he just picks up a gardening scythe and just murders all the attackers.
I love that that's why it becomes his weapon of choice. He's just like, oh, farm tool.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what happens with Vulcan. Vulcan just uses a hammer because his place gets attacked by Dark Eldar. He just grabs 2 blacksmithing hammers and just goes to fucking town.
No, yeah. It's just anybody that isn't like using an axe or a sword, their reason for using whatever is always some like kind of funny shit. They're just like, it's what I had on hand and I liked it.
Man, just a little bit of off track, but the general like lore reason why there are Reapers in Final Fantasy XIV is angry farmers. Like the scythe wielding class is just angry farmers. It's fucking amazing, dude.
So yeah,
Mortarian.
actually helped.
Angry farmer.
Actually helped to create primitive Astartes armor on his planet. He did this so that way his men could travel to the other valleys, because each valley is cut off from everyone. Because in order to get through the valley, you have to go through the toxic fog. And basically, unless you're a Primarch or an Astartes, you're not getting through the toxic fog because it's that bad. So he uses this armor to transport the people of Barbaros from valley to valley to valley, killing these necromancers as they go along. The only problem is that the last necromancer that happens, the last necromancer they leave alive is Nikaer, the adoptive father of Mortarian. Mortarian does this for a couple reasons. The main reason it happens is that Nikaer realizes what Mortarian's doing and goes, haha, you can't come at me because I'm going to go park my ass at the tallest peak of the tallest tower on this entire planet in the toxicest fog, so that way no one can come get me. Because the fog is so bad that even Mortarian, a Primarch, the toughest Primarch, can't go. Imagine how toxic the fog must be if a Primarch is like, oh, I'll die from just existing.
To put this in perspective, Mortarian, for fun, takes shots of poisonous chemicals in the future. Like, instead of drinking liquor, Mortarian literally will take shots of chlorine in, like, the same faction. That guy can't go up the hill.
So it's really toxic.
So yeah, eventually the people are basically freed. And Mortarian is just kind of like, we'll just leave, like, the one necromancer up there because, like, I'm here, my Death Guard is here. So, like, no one's fucking with us anymore. So, like, there's not really any need to go up there. Mortarian's out just doing some stuff one day, and finally he comes back and finds a golden stranger. AKA the Emperor is there. And the Emperor is like, I'm the Emperor of mankind. I want to help the people of Barbaros destroy I want to help the people of Barbaros and bring them into the Imperial Man. And Mortarian's like, nope. We do not want any outside help. We don't need any outside help. Go to hell. And the Emperor's like, well, you can't kill the last guy. How about this? If you kill the last guy, I'll fuck off forever, and I'll never fucking come back. But if I kill the last guy, you guys have to sell fealty to me. And Mortarian goes, bet. And hikes up this hill by himself. His Death Guard wants to go with him. He goes, nope, nobody can go with me. The fog is so toxic where Nikaer plants his ass that the Astartes armor that he built himself is literally rotting away. Not falling off, is rotting. Described as rotting as though it was decaying flesh off of Mortarian's body. And he gets to the gate of this thing and starts screaming death threats at Nikaer, but collapses from the poisonous fog. And his last kind of vision of life as he's beginning to pass out from the fumes is Nikaer laughing at him, saying how he's going to kill him. And then the Emperor just diving over Mortarian and just slashing open Nikaer's belly. And Nikaer dying. And Mortarian eventually passes out. And he gets a vision of a dark figure that tells him, he will tell him the secrets of the secrets of true immortality. And this figure is actually described in the lore. This is Nurgle, who has already pinned Mortarian as, oh, he's gonna be my herald. That's my guy right there. So Mortarian follows through to his word and becomes part of the Emperor. And he does a bunch of things in the Death Guard that are very unusual, and no one really likes him because this dude is the king of I will wait you out. A lot of times what happens is that Mortarian is used to hold off and tire people out. So he just fights you in kind of this weird long stalemate that he knows he's going to win because he is a space marine. And then another force will like drop pod in and finish you off. This is how. So he's kind of always at Horus's side because this is how Horus chooses to fight. Like the Death Guard will kind of like World War I style trench warfare hold you down until you're exhausted, out of ammo, out of food, and then the Sons of Horus are like, haha, smash! Guess what? You're out of bullets. Time to win.
You're out of bullets, and now I'm here with lightning claws.
And a funny and if you're wondering, because this is something I wondered while I was reading this lore, I'm like, wow, this planet of Barbaros, it sucks. Like, why don't people leave? Dorn, Gilliman, and Horus all pitch to the Imperium of Man as an idea of like, hey, why don't we move? Like, they actually say it would be a mercy if we just exterminated this planet or moved everybody off of it because this place is so bad. It's so terrible. They don't do this to any other of the Death Worlds, by the way. This is the one Death World they do it to. Of like, this place is so shitty that it would be pity and mercy to just either kill everybody off and start anew, or we just move everybody off planet because it's that bad. And Mortarian says no, no.
Fenris is a frozen hellscape. Baal is a nuclear wasteland. None of these places get decided to be exterminated.
Nocturne is literally just volcanoes and dinosaurs that want to eat you.
Yeah, Nocturne is literally dinosaurs on fire.
All those planets, no one's like, we should just kill everybody. But this planet, they're like, oh no, this is how bad Barbaros is. That the other people from Death Worlds are like, hey, we should not live here. So, yeah. So, it may feel like I'm kind of skating through this a lot for anybody who's like a big fan of Mortarian, and I'm sorry to say that unfortunately he is one of the few Primarchs that doesn't have a book because, yay, COVID. It's kind of weird that the Lord of Plague is stopped by a disease of getting more knowledge about him, but there you go. So, yeah. So, Mortarian just kind of exists. He hates Psychers. He's slow.
He fucking hates Psychers.
Like, he hates Psychers because of what happened with the Necromancer.
He is the primary opposer of Magnus at the Council of Nicaea.
And the reason that he ends up winning is he gets under he does his slow burn thing against Magnus, and basically gets under Magnus's skin, which is how he fights in warfare, is he slowly gets under Magnus's skin, and Mortarian's is dropping like logic bombs everywhere, and which forces Magnus to be kind of impassionate and speechful and kind of emotional about this, which is eventually why the Emperor ends up siding with Mortarian. Is he goes with the slow, logic, and reasonable person versus the guy who's giving these impassioned speeches.
Yeah.
Because...
which Magnus gave one hell of a speech.
Tragedy,
he does. Frankly.
He does. And then the Horus Heresy happens. And basically it just describes Mortarian as like, he's ready to turn, because he's always angry at the Emperor for denying him the revenge against his stepfather. He never forgives the Emperor for that. He's always kind of...
the revenge and saving him seems like the same thing, to be honest.
I mean...
He would have fucking died.
I listen, Mortarian is the second dumbest Primarch out of all of them. This guy, as far as Primarchs go, is the second stupidest. I will contend that the dumbest Primarch, surprisingly enough, is not Angron.
Angron
the dumbest Primarch is Omegon, and I'll say that I've said this before. I'll say it again. To have Dorn on the ropes and then decide that a face-to-face combat with Dorn is a good idea after you literally have Dorn in the palm of your hand suckling on your seeds of terror, that makes you the dumbest Primarch to be like, hey, I'm gonna go fight the big giant guy who happens to be the best swordsmith and all, to be like one of the best sword fighters amongst my brothers. Ha 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 ha. Oh wait, that didn't work out so well.
Just making sure that wasn't Omegan, that was Alfarius.
No.
Omegan, yes.
Omegan is the one that actually gets killed. I'll go over that in the Alpha Legion episode.
Okay, sure.
Yes. Omegon is the
Wild
one.
news for both of you when I tell you that neither of them are dead.
Actually, wild news that I can confirm that one is dead.
If you read the Praetorian of Terra book, in the end, the guy who I assume is Omegon starts to be like kind of insane, and it's like, oh, I am Alfarius, I promise, I 100% am Alfarius. That's why I feel like it probably should be Omegon.
But yes,
we'll get to it in the.
So yeah, and the way that Horus convinces Mortarian to turn is, it's described as he's the master of lies and manipulations, but Horus just says the truth. He's just like, by the way, our dad's a psyker and had to use the powers of the knowledge of the warp to make us. Which the wiki's like, this is a lie. It's like, no, that is exactly what happens verbatim, by the way.
Yeah.
So Mortarian's like, ooh, psychers. Grrr.
Which, go fuck yourself, Mortarian, who goes on to become the demon prince of the god of chaos.
Well, also, side note, if anyone who has forgotten, all 20 Primarchs are psychers. If you are a Primarch, you are also at least a little bit psycher.
Yeah.
The only Primarch who ends up not being a psycher by the end of this is Angron, and that's because the Butcher's Nails turn off his psychic powers.
Yeah.
But he was a psyker at one point.
Yeah, he was. No.
Yeah, he was.
He was also a lot of things. Dude, when we get to the Angron episode, I have a whole Sanguinius Angron theory. That's gonna be a great episode, but that's not who we're talking about today.
So yeah, Mortarian does a dick move, and
does a dick move.
He does. He does
a dick move, and then it's just the drop site massacre. I know that's.
Yeah, he does a dick move and gets all of his people and gets all of his loyalist people killed, which is one of the things, like, what I mean by dick move is, like, all the loyalist people were actually just the Terran-born Death Guard. They were just the original Death Guard from Terra, who people were just racist against the whole time, and Mortarian was
most of the legions.
And Mortarian fostered the hatred.
Yeah,
like he didn't like in the Ultramarines it's a big problem, but Guilliman tells everyone to shut the fuck up about it and to stop fucking doing it. Like, he tries to change them because he wants their traditions to change, but he doesn't allow for outright hatred of his Terran-born sons to be fostered. So Guilliman's like, no, squash that, and same with Sanguinius, and same with
Vulcan didn't actually have a problem with it. Vulcan was like, he showed up with the people from Nocturne to save the Terran people, and they were all like buddy like right off the bat. Vulcan's the only one that like didn't have trouble with it.
Yeah.
Angron fucking killed his before the drop site massacre.
Yeah, so, and then kind of just, that's unfortunately kind of where his story ends. Mortarian just kind of goes and eventually becomes the Lord of Plague, the Lord of Disease. And let me tell you something, and I want to describe how tough and scary these guys are in a real standpoint. I know I'm not doing this thing justice, but again, like I said, he doesn't have a Primarch book. And the problem is that after, he doesn't do a whole lot individually during the Horus Heresy. He's kind of just there supporting everybody. But yeah, let me describe these guys in the terms of the war game. So we all can agree, Mephiston, right? Mephiston, he's a tough bastard, right?
Yeah.
So the way Warhammer toughness works is on a scale of 1 to 10. Your normal human's a 3. Your normal Astartes is a 4. A guy like Mephiston is a 6. Death Guards start at 5. This your average run-of-the-mill Death Guard is a 5. Meanwhile, Sanguinius and Dorn are a 6. Okay? So they're just below Primarch status. And also, they have this whole rule called Feel No Pain, which is where if they get hit with a bullet, after it goes through their armor, after it goes through their magical shields that they have they have a 50-50 chance of just ignoring it.
Oh, fuck. Don't Black Rage, fucking
Yeah,
Blood Angels have
yeah.
that?
Remember that rule that
That's like, yeah, but that's their standard. Like,
that's their scouts get that. Their basic ass recruits get that.
fuck.
Yeah. Oh, and I guess we could talk about the Plague Wars. So after the Siege of Terra, which he doesn't really do anything unique and special. He's just kind of there. He does whatever Horus wants to do. He throws out a bunch of plague bombs. It's really devastating. He does the Plague Wars.
Garrow.
What was that?
Nathaniel Garrow. He's a
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
champ.
Nathaniel
He's,
Garrow's a
loyalist that
G.
escaped on, Eisenstein or
He was the captain of the 7th Company. 7th Great Company, my bad. They have their own company system.
So yeah. And after the Siege of Terra, he fucks off for 10,000 years. And then
Gets bodied by Guilliman.
he actually doesn't get bodied by Guilliman.
No, he does. Like,
No.
in the most recent lore. He gets
In the most
fucking
recent
shredded.
lores, they're fighting each other, and Guilliman gets one blow, and then all of the Death Guard just disappear.
No, because, like, he gets possessed by, like, a shard of the Emperor, and he bodies, he hits fucking, Mortarian so hard that it, like, opens a portal to Nurgle's garden, and then, like, they, like, burn part of Nurgle's garden. Like Guilliman uses the Emperor's sword to, like, burn part of Nurgle's garden, and he basically, like, looks at Nurgle and he does, like, the finger across the throat thing, and then, like, closes the portal.
I mean, he literally sent fucking Mortarian back to the Shadow Realm. Like, I don't know what to say. That sounds like being bodied to me.
Well, it's an unexplained, like, the whole Death Guard. Like, not just Mortarian leaves, but the whole Death Guard just go, whoop!
Oh, like, they
Like, the
just,
whole
pop out.
Legion just goes, whoop! Just fades back into the warp.
I kind of love that. They just whoop.
Yeah, I mean, that's just like what they do. Yeah, so basically the only thing Mortarian does in the 10,000 years afterwards is just basically make the fall of Cadia happen.
That's a big thing to do, by the way.
It's a big thing to do because he doesn't do a lot to make the actual planet of Cadia fall, but as far as the rest of the Cadian system, one world's taken over by the World Eaters, one world is taken over by the Emperor's Children, and the rest of it is basically just plagued, bombed out of existence.
Yeah, he really did. He just did do it to the Cadian system.
Well, yeah, here. Where's this direct quote? I want to read this this quote here. Say what you like about the 14th Legion. They are mean, ugly bastards, but tenacious. There is no one else I'd rather see by my side in a war attrition, and almost anyone else I'd rather have against me. Ferrus Manus of the Iron Hands after the compliance of the 1544.
Fuck.
Pain is an illusion of the senses, fear is an illusion of the mind. Beyond these, only death awaits as a silent judge o'er us all. Primarch Mortarian. So yeah, he's the Grim Reaper, baby.
Yeah.
He has gotta have the most beloved Legion. Like, people really, really like him. Oh, also a fun thing in the tabletop that is weird, because they emphasize him being a slow burning motherfucker. So your average Marine and your average dude move 6 inches on the table.
Yeah.
All Death Guard can only move 4. So they're just these waddling little masses of little blobs going like, bitch, I'm coming for you.
I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you.
I love them. I love these guys.
Oh, I love the Death Guard. I like that they work in 7, like, to emphasize they're like, we're gonna slow you down. Is they just have 7 great companies that are bigger than a normal company, and they all just travel together. And like wherever they go, they're just like, our whole shit is just gonna sit here until you die. Like,
Yeah, they are. They are so, and they also just like these guys look cool. They're nightmares to paint as a Legion.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot to say about Mortarian, because unfortunately, all you can really do is get the wiki, and I haven't read all the books about like Guilliman stuff because I've been too busy reading Honorbound, which, oh my god, stop what you're doing in your life, buy the book Honorbound, and fucking read it. It is amazing.
is it good? It's good.
I really liked it. It is the story of Severina Rain, who is a female commissar fighting chaos warriors in the Bellstars region.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
When it comes to the Death Guard, I feel like we're going to do this entire episode a huge disservice by not speaking of Nathaniel Garrow's story.
I don't.
yeah,
I didn't
he's
come across this guy in my
bitchin'.
research.
Nathaniel Garrow is.
During the
Can one of you guys tell me about Nathaniel Garrow? Because I actually didn't come across this guy.
Yeah, go ahead. Knock. You can take it away.
I can recall what I remember, and Jordan, you can correct me if I miss anything. But pretty much, Nathaniel Garrow was a captain. I don't remember what grade.
7th Company.
7th. Thank you. And he was a really good friend of, I think, Tarvitz, Sol Tarvitz.
Yeah, he was a really good
the-
friend of Saul Tarvitz from the Emperor's Children.
Yes, and during the bombing of Istvan 3, I think. Is it 3 or 5? I don't remember. Which
3 is where the legions were killed.
Okay, so yeah, during the third one, during the Istvan 3, Nathaniel Garrow Sol Tarvitz flew down to Istvan 3 to warn the people down there about the plague bombs and all that stuff. I think the reason why Sol Tarvitz made it down there is because Nathaniel Garrow told the what are they called? Thunderbirds? What are they called?
Thunderhawks.
Thunderhawks.
Thunderhawks. He told the Thunderhawks to not fire. Which is, well, direct opposite of what Horus told him to do. Which then, obviously, he's in some deep shit. So he was not on the planet. So he was in one of the ships called the Eisenstein, and he just thought to himself, well, this is a fucking mess. I need to go warn some people. I'm finna head out.
This is actually an interesting part of Mortarian fucking up, because Horus commands everybody to, like, hey, send your legion that, like, isn't going to betray shit with us. Send them to Istvan 3 so that we can bomb them to death. And then Mortarian just likes Nathaniel Garrow, and everybody's like, Mortarian, this guy isn't going to turn traitor with us. And Mortarian's like, I don't know, maybe. So he just doesn't send to Nathaniel Garrow to die. And like, because of that, despite everyone telling him that Nathaniel should be on the planet, Nathaniel betrays Mortarian and fucking goes off the Terra.
Worse. It gets even worse because he tries to warp jump back to Terra. Whereas he gets pretty much, I think it was the shields that fucking malfunctioned, and because once they realized that one of the ships are not bombing the planet, they were like, okay, bomb the ship, because it was Nathaniel Garrow's ship. And Nathaniel said, "I we need to dip. We're taking a lot of damage, and their shields got damaged." So they were traveling through the warp, literally unprotected.
Oh yeah, their Geller field went down.
Yeah, and then Nurgle starts to think, maybe not, and sends a bunch of small boys at the ship, which is a
Small boys.
yeah, small boys. They're not like big, but they're small. And then yeah, there's this big fight broke out. I think like almost everyone that got hit, like got damaged by these small boys, turned into either dead or small boys. So pretty much imagine zombie apocalypse. He
It's like the
gets out of
first iteration of Plague Marines.
yeah, and in a it's there's a lot more that happens, and I greatly recommend you read this book. It's called Flight of the Eisenstein. But either way, short fast forwarding there, he gets out of the warp jump in middle of nowhere, um, and well, almost all of his crew is dead. There's like his close sergeants, I guess, that are still alive, and he just fucks. He says, "You know what? You know our generator or whatever. What is it called? I
Geller
don't know.
field.
Yeah, our Gallifrey generator. Let's fucking throw it into space and blow it up and hope that somebody notices." And guess who notices? Big Daddy Dorn. So the fucking phalanx comes and just says, "Hello, what you doing, guys?" Um, well, Nathaniel Garrow enters the ship with. Oh, also the Remembrancers. He brought the Remembrancers
Yeah.
from Horus' ship. Worth a note. But yeah, he enters the ship and he tells Rogel Dorn to his face, "Hey, dude, your brother's a piece of shit." And Rogel Dorn says no and slaps the shit out of Nathaniel Garrow, like literally punches him.
Oh yeah,
But
he like sends them flying across like the command room. Like
but he holds back.
yeah,
He holds
like
back.
Rogel Rogel like
Yeah. So Rogel just Falcon punches the shit out of Nathaniel Garrow, and after Nathaniel Garrow got like sent to Narnia, I think either him or Ifriti Keeler said, "You could have killed him with that punch, but you didn't."
it was
And
Euphrates Keeler.
yeah, and Dorn was like, "Yeah, there might be some truth in it. We're gonna have to see." Um, but y'all can't come with us. Fuck off back to Earth. So he takes him to the moon, in order, just to make sure that these guys aren't anything weird with these guys either. Spoiler alert, there is. He leaves them on the moon with the Sisters of Silence and leaves Euphrator Keeler with the Sisters of Silence. Because, fucking mage. And Nathaniel Garrow's, one of his closest friends, I don't remember his name, has been hit by this plague and turns into a fucking fly man or like a literal fucking giant fly. And this is the fucking greatest part of the book because they're on the moon and this fly man starts killing shit and starts like going ham. And Nathaniel Garrow, not having rest a single bit, said, "You know what? Fuck this guy. He was my friend. Now he's a monster. I need to take care of this." So he fucking throws him out the window and like just throws him out and starts punching the living shit out of him. And then you have this giant battle going on. I can't do it justice by explaining it.
He for the
Eventually,
record, when he throws them out a window, he throws them into the vacuum of space. Like they're
yeah,
bouncing on like
yeah,
they're like bouncing on the ground of the moon. Like
yeah. So it ends up with him in huge quotation marks defeating the fly guy because he comes back. Fuck. And Nathaniel Garrow does also survive that. I think he goes on to become a part of the guys that do the thing. Yeah, you know what I mean.
doesn't he go on to become an inquisitor or am I
Yeah,
off a
yeah,
beam?
yeah.
Yeah,
He's
he
an
goes
expert.
because Malkador the Sigilate is
Yeah,
like, I need good people like you, and Malkador invents the fucking Inquisition, and Nathaniel Garrow is like one of the first Inquisitors, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, main reason being, well, he went through the warp without a condom and just said, "Fuck it, I'm fine." And Melkor said, "Dude, radical." Uh,
Malkador was like, "Bro, how'd you do that?"
Bro, I'm too scared. I double strap. No, so, um, Nathaniel Garrow, really interesting character, really cool guy. Also, if you haven't read the first Horus Heresy books, uh, uh, skip forward like 10 seconds. He also helps Loken become Loken again after the plague bombing. So yeah, he's a pretty dope dude.
Yeah, he's fucking dope.
Oh, and he has a pretty cool name too, Nathaniel Garrow. That's
Uh,
all I got on him though.
all right. Uh, so now that Knox had his time to talk about the Death Guard part, Nathaniel Garro, and now that Casca has so thoughtfully brought us through the history of Mortarian, I get to talk about my one my one thing that I like about or not my one thing, but my one thing that I am the most knowledgeable on about fucking the Death Guard, which is now we've talked about, for those of you that remember, we've talked about the Morlocks, which are all fucking Ferrus Manus's private guard that are all Terminators with lightning claws. And we've
Yeah.
talked about fucking the Sanguinary Guard, these, golden armored, white winged angels
Lame.
that protect Sanguinius. We've all talked about that.
Lame.
I this is my testification that the Death's Shroud are the coolest bodyguard of any of the fucking bodyguards.
I'm looking
for,
these guys up.
uh,
I've never actually seen a
Honor
picture
Guard.
of these guys. Whoa!
What were they calling it? Death Shroud?
The Death Shroud.
I'm looking at the models right now. Those are some bitchin' dudes.
So the Death Shroud are all Terminators with power scythes. They are all Terminators with power scythes that are meant to model like Mortarian's giant scythe.
Uh-huh.
Here are some of the cool things about them. They, for the entirety of their lives, once you become a member of the Death Shroud, you have to stand no more than 49 paces away from Mortarian. So if you see Mortarian, all of the active duty Death Shroud are within 49 paces of you. You might not see them. It is described that they can hide and blend in really well. So you might not see the Death Shroud, but within 49 paces of Mortarian will be members of the Death Shroud ready to just fucking flock on you in an instant. Also, they work similarly to the Death Watch, where basically Mortarian goes throughout his legion. He watches everybody battle, and he can walk up to a scout. He could walk up to a brother. It could be a captain. It doesn't matter what rank you are. Mortarian will one day just come up to you and take you from your position. Your name will be expunged from the legion. You'll be marked off as dead, like you will be written out of existence. And then you will don your Terminator armor and become a part of the Death Shroud, and you get like elevated into this extra high secretive status of like elite bodyguard that Mortarian handpicks from all of the ranks of his troops.
That's pretty cool.
That's fucking badass. That's not pretty cool. That's fucking dope, dude.
And I rest my case as to why the Death Shroud are the coolest of all of the Praetorians.
Damn, now fucking Ferrus Manus sucks dick, man.
Also, 49 is divisible by 7, which is Nurgle's magic number. And fucking Magnus points that out to him, and Mortarian just kind of like begrudgingly doesn't like that.
Actually, that's actually pretty. I'm looking at their rules right now for the actual Death Shroud Terminators. Roll a dice each time a friendly Death Guard character is hit by a ranged or melee attack within 3 inches of this model. On a 2+ on a 2 or more on a 6-sided dice, One of the Death Shroud intercepts the hit. That character is not hit by the attack, and the unit in this model is hit instead. So they even have it in the rules.
They even have it in the rules that they're close-ass bodyguards. So yeah, the Death Shroud are fucking dope. That's all I have to say. That's all. You guys had like the cool story shit that set up all of the big instances about how he like impacts the entirety of the world. I just have cool aesthetic soldier dudes. That's my whole contribution to this episode.
Man,
Yeah,
that's
as far
the fucking
as
reason I gave Vulcan a fucking 10.
as far
Yeah,
as
you gave Vulcan a 10 because he punched an orc so hard everybody thought it was artillery fire.
yeah, as far as effective chaos people, as far as like I am the chaos guy who did the most things after becoming chaos, it is Mortarian.
Oh yeah.
Like the two people who actually like actively go out and like do the things are Mortarian and Angron. Because Angron's the only person we see, is the only Primarch that is seen after the heresy until the fall of Cadia. He's the only one that actually like bothers to fucking show his face. Granted, he shows up once and gets killed and sent back to the warp, but it takes a whole lot to send Angron down.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is it took 100. This is to show you the power of the Primarchs. It took 100 Grey Knight Terminators plus their chapter master.
100 Grey Knight.
Hold on, son. I'm not done.
But that's so much already.
Along with 3 battalions of Armageddon guardsmen to do this, and Angron was by himself with an arm with like the 4 most powerful bloodthirsters, and by the end of it, the only thing that was left was a handful of the Imperial Guardsmen and the chapter master. Everyone else was dead.
Bro, Angron. Could you imagine how terrifying Angron would be if he didn't have the butcher's nails in his head, making him make every bad decision?
If he wasn't stupid.
If he wasn't lobotomized.
Oh man, he would be terrifying.
But
Mortarian.
Besides him, Mortarian actually destroys the Cadian system.
He's the main reason that most of the Cadian system falls. Well, it's actually Typhus who does the most of the work, but Typhus is like the right-hand man, and he's also one of the people that kind of was like, ooh, Mortarian, you must become Nurgle's person, fall! Which is like, Typhus is pretty cool. Yeah.
Typhus is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, no. I would say more, but like, I'm also on sick brain, so I may be forgetting some things.
I mean, that's about it for Mortarian as far as we covered everything. We covered his captains, we covered him, we covered his fucking bodyguard.
I'm gonna be 100% real with y'all. I haven't read or watched or consumed any Warhammer content for the last like 2 months. So I'm also kind of like rusty.
Well, you've been reading better content, which is the Lord of the Rings.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Say that on a 40K podcast.
I'm gonna be honest with you. In preparation for this Mortarian episode, I read 2 books about the Inquisition.
In preparation for this Mortarian thing, I read the wiki and listened to a 9-hour audiobook about a female commissar fighting not Nurgle people.
It's okay because Nock and I both read Flight of the Eisenstein, and so
we had something to say.
We
By
had
the
a
way,
bunch. We covered his whole life. What do you mean something to say? We literally went back to back through this motherfucker's entire existence.
Also, to let people understand what I mean by these guys have plagues and they do everything, the main plague of Nurgle's rot not only corrupts your not only corrupts your body, but it corrupts your actual soul. It actually does disease on your soul. And it doesn't and the disease won't kill you. The disease will not actually kill you. The illness does not merely affect the body; it painfully corrupts the soul, diseased souls to the point where the victim has no choice but to either end their own life or fully embrace Godfather Nurgle in order to subside the pain.
Yeah. I I I I feel like that's a good note to start wrapping this up because it has been an hour.
Oh
My
yeah.
God.
Also, we got to give our ratings for him.
Yeah, that's what I'm not.
See,
Alright.
this is where cause
Scale of Lionel Johnson.
also can I put one thing on here that knocks Mortarian down a little bit?
Oh, sure. What is it?
Who do you think is Mortarian's best friend?
Oh,
It's not
fuck,
Horus.
I actually, yeah.
Mortarian has one friend. He has one friend.
It's. Give me a sec. Is it Lorgar?
Okay, we have one vote for Logar. Nock, who do you think? Who do you think is the Primarch that Mortarian best associates with and feels the most kinship with?
Why do I feel like it's Lorgar? It's probably not.
Conrad Curse.
It's Conrad fucking.
Conrad Kurz?
Yeah, they're like Mortarian
Dude.
actually like looks up to Conrad and like it's like and it's like oh yeah, this guy's my G. Because it's the whole like lonesome everyone hates me mentality that they both have.
Why didn't he like Perturabo then?
Because Perturabo tries to make friends.
Oh.
Conrad Kurz never tries to make a friend because he's like, no one understand me. Because Perturabo wants to be loved. Conrad's like, no one's going to love me ever, period. Perturabo wants to be loved.
Oh. Oh, Perturabo.
But he also doesn't want to be. Perturabo's a contradiction in his fucking self. But yeah, no, his best friend and the person he gets along with the most that isn't like out of admiration, because like with Horus, it's like, oh, I admire you a lot. You're my war master. You're my older brother. But the person he actually like feels kinship with and like feels that understands him is is Conrad.
With that being said, now that we know that fucking horrible piece of information, who's giving him over a 5?
Oh, I am. Listen, this guy has as much good and bad and like he has great aesthetics. He has an actual like cool story. But he's also like a pile of shit. So it's kind of like what happened with our last episode with Perturabo, where like, yeah, this dude is a fuckhead to end all fuckheads. That's almost down to Lionel Johnson level of this guy's a pile of poop. But also his legion, himself, his look is very cool. It's a little understandable because he is the most fucked over Primarch as far as where I landed and my life experiences. He's one of the more fucked over Primarchs. So I get it. And overall, I give him a 7. Which is what I gave Perturabo.
7, okay.
7, okay. I don't know. I think for me, if I'm rating just him, it's a little lower. Like I like his legion. I like the like characters that surround him. And like his connection to Nurgle is cool. I do like his story. Dude, I don't know.
I like that he wanted to go. I like that he wanted to go it himself, and that he.
I do like that.
I do kind of like that he turned because the Emperor basically was like, "Oh, go ahead, sonny boy, go ahead and try to kill your dad. I know you're gonna fail," and then just steps over him and kills him, and then turns around and goes,
"Yeah, no,
oh, you promised."
He has a great reason.
Like the Emperor is just a dick to him, even more so than like the other people. Like
I'll tell you what, just because of that fact, because like the Emperor really was shitty to him, so somebody's got to be nice to him. Instead of giving him a 5, I'll give him a 6. I feel pretty comfortable in giving Mortarian like a solid 6.
I mean, that's fair. That's really fair. I feel like that's a good rating.
I was gonna go 4. I'll admit it. I was gonna go 4, but his story is a very rewarding story and makes a lot of sense and has satisfying conclusions. So I bumped him up to a 6. But I was gonna actually throw him below Guilliman though.
Yeah, but he does actually. You know what? Now I'm remembering now the thing at IKEA.
The thing of Nikea fucking sucks, dude.
I gotta hold on. Come back to me. I might change my answer. Go ahead, Knock. Give me yours.
I'm gonna fuck it. No, I'm gonna stick to my guns. I'm gonna give him a 4. The Death Guard is cool. I'm giving Mortarian a 4.
I actually might change my answer because I don't know why, but my sick brain pushed out the Nikea.
You reminded me of Nikea, and no hesitation, I put him at a 4.
I gotta put him at a 4 now too. I gotta put him at a 4 just because of Nikea, because this dude fucking sucks. I forgot how much his personality, because like again, his Legion is cool, his aesthetic is cool, but like I forgot how much Mortarian fucking blows as a human being.
Mortarian as a person. You want to have a conversation with Mortarian? You want to go have fucking coffee with Mortarian? No, you don't.
Never.
He's a 4.
I mean, to be fair, would you want to have coffee with anyone besides Sanguinius?
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. So many of them. I would have coffee with Horus.
No, the fuck I would not. He would try to convince me to kill my dad or something.
No, Horus was like an interesting human. Like I would totally. The only ones I wouldn't have coffee with would be Mortarian, Conrad Kurz, and Lionel Johnson. Every single other Primarch. Okay, Angron, because I want to make it through coffee.
Hold on a minute.
No,
You're gonna have coffee with Logar?
I would have coffee with Lorgar. Absolutely.
I would do it with
Next
Librarius.
episode, I'm gonna make Jordan regret those words that just came out of his mouth.
Well, I know a lot about Lorgar. Lorgar would be an interesting person to have coffee with.
I don't want to have coffee with the altar boy of the Primarchs.
No, honestly, I would seriously do it with Lion just so I could be like, shame that you wouldn't pay for this. A real leader would do that, and they'd be like, I am a real leader, and then pay.
I'm a real leader.
Yeah, so
Oh
it'd be
shit!
fucking-
You know, a real leader would buy me a new car.
Are you saying you'd have coffee with Lionel Johnson just because you could get him to take you to like a Gordon Ramsay restaurant and
Hell
get him to
yeah.
pay for everything?
Hell
I'm
yeah,
not
that
gonna
actually
check
makes
with
sense.
me.
I'd like to take that back. I would like to manipulate Lionel Johnson, who is shown to be very easily manipulatable, by the way. I would like to go to coffee with Lionel Johnson so that I could manipulate him into buying me a house.
I mean,
feel like
he does get manipulated by Perturabo on accident. Perturabo just like, oops, I manipulated the lion into giving me siege weapons.
I feel like it's about time I give my rating. My
Yeah.
rating.
We got 2 4s. What do you got?
My rating is going to answer the question I asked at first. Instead, I'm gonna give him above 5, and that's a hard fucking no. A 3 on this bitch. What you mean?
I mean,
Oh, side note though, Death Shroud 10 out of 10.
Death Shroud,
Yeah,
10
yeah,
out of 10. Agreed.
Agreed.
Agreed. But Mortarian 4 and a 3.
It's the same thing with Lionel Johnson. Like
Well,
the things that surround Mortarian are
Are
cooler
so cool.
are cooler than Mortarian himself.
100%. 100%. The Death Guard are fucking cool.
I would take a
Mortarian
coffee-
sucks.
I would take a coffee with Mortarian if I got to duct tape his mouth shut.
Also,
I would do
Nurgle
it.
is my least favorite of the 4 Chaos Gods, so that doesn't help him either, because it's like, oh, what's his cool magic shit? Oh, it's being sick.
COVID-19.
Oh, I thought it was because that Nurgle's the god that openly commits spousal abuse during his whole story.
What?
That's not so bad.
Oh, do you not know this about Nurgle?
Nurgle commits spousal abuse? No,
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Nurgle
So-
has a spouse?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Nurgle
wait,
Nurgle has a wife.
spouse?
Nurgle has a
Nurgle
wife.
has a wife?
Yeah,
Nurgle.
Nurgle. So what happens is that Nurgle finds out about the elvish god of the elder god of healing. You know,
You gotta be
the Eldari god of healing, and so she's an actual like goddess, you know, like kind of like a chaos entity, and he kidnaps her to be his wife and locks her in a cage. And then uses her as an experiment for all his diseases because one of her magical powers is that she will heal from everything.
Oh my.
And the reason that she's never tried to escape is that when one of her other powers is that when she heals from something, she learns how to make the cure from it. So now she spends their eternity getting sick from Nurgle's diseases and then whispers the cure into the hearts of everyone in the mortal plane. So that way they can figure out how to get over all of his horrible diseases.
Dude, that person is amazing.
Yeah.
That character, what's her name?
I actually forget her name, but this is like a real thing. Like you can see, like, yeah, that,
Isha?
Yeah, there. Yeah,
Dude, Isha is amazing. Isha's a 10 out of 10.
yeah. Like one of her. Yeah, and she is considered to be Nurgle's wife.
Oh, by fucking shotgun.
Yeah, basically, but that's not like it's not like that hasn't happened in the history of the of the world.
Also, it's chaos. Why would we assume that it happens in a good way? Also,
Yeah.
Yeah, fair. Fucking fair.
Yeah, so she just
Alrighty.
keeps getting infected with diseases, and then she's just like, well, I want to help out all the mortals because she's a fucking saint. And Nurgle's a flying piece of shit.
all right. So, yeah, definitely
The nicest of
under
the
5.
Chaos Gods, my ass.
I'm putting. What the fuck did you just put in chat, Knock? What is Elmo? What is Elmo with an inquisitorial rosette
Behind a nuclear bomb. What is this?
holding a Godwin pattern bolter?
It's great.
I want to make that my desktop wallpaper.
Same.
I'm gonna copy a link to this and put it in the chat in the stream chat for anybody who wants to see it, because that's fucking amazing.
It's an amazing picture. All right. Anyway, I gotta go. This has
Anyway.
been a wonderful time with y'all.
It's been an hour. Yeah.
Alrighty.
For anybody who wants to, in approximately 2.5 hours, I'll be back streaming again to finish up my D&D game. And next time, to hype it up, we'll be talking about the guy who literally causes all of this, who has the most evil legion of all, Lorgar.
The bitch.
Also, sadly, the man with the absolute most boring book out of any of the fucking Primarchs that I've read so far. His book fucking sucks. GW, do better. I don't want to read another autobiography of a fucking altar boy ever again. Bye-bye.
Bye. Although, if you want to read the Word Bearers Omnibus, it's 3 books about a dude named Marduk and then like 40. Fucking buy it, dude. It's so good.
Okay.
Chicken
Bye-bye.
nugget.
Bye.